Hey everyone, I'm Mike from Thunder Mountain Bikes, and today we're going to talk about the all-new Ibis Ripley. All right, so this has been a really highly anticipated bike for us here at Thunder Mountain because it's one of the most popular bikes we've ever had at the shop. The Ripley, you may recall, used to have all the swoops and everything. So one of the biggest changes you notice right away is the new updated frame design. It's all straight tubed, really modern, kind of minimal logos, really cool matte color. It looks awesome in person. As soon as we pulled it out of the box, we were all pretty psyched about it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the build here. You know, these bikes come a frame and a box of parts, and we put this completely together at the shop. All of them come like that. So we're always really proud to build them, and always really, it's really fun to get into the little details. So right away, we got the Ibis wheels. If you watched my bird video where we built the bird wheels for my personal bike a couple years ago, I chose the Ibis 35 mil rims for that. I think they're just amazing. The asymmetrical shape, it makes them stronger. The 35 millimeter width really pops out that tire, gives it a great profile. So it really adds to the feeling of a bike like this. Fox factory suspension, front and rear. So you've got the top end suspension on a lot of their builds. This is the GX Axis that we're looking at today. So this one has the full transmission kit, great SRAM brakes, the bike yoke seat post. This has been a favorite here too. It's got the bleed valve, so if you get a little air in there and it gets spongy, you can get rid of it while you're out there. My personal favorite saddle, the Silverado. Maxxis tires. I mean, it really, I feel like it comes out of the box ready to go. I noticed right away when building this too, I just did a new handlebar here, the new Blackbird bar and stem. And a lot of times I kind of discount the, the branded bars that come with a lot of these bikes, but the sweep and the feel of this one was great. It also has a cool little nugget. It has these little threaded end dealies in here. So you can just take those out without cutting your bar and change it from 800 to 760 just by removing those. So that's pretty cool. Really, after riding it, the only thing I would have changed is the grips. I thought it was ready to go. This guy also has frame storage down here. It's got the new Cotopaxi bags. I'm pretty excited to see those guys. Really easy to get in and out of there. I loaded it up in another one of our videos with everything I take on the trail. So with the previous Ripley, I thought one of the coolest things about it is it was a cross-country bike. But right away, you could tell when you rode it, it could do a little more than cross-country race. It could really take you further. I think that bike came out before people even used the word downcountry and was one of the first ones to really encompass that feel. So this Ripley takes it a little further, instead of being 120, 130 in the front like the old one. This one's now 140 in the rear, 150 in the front. Definitely more capable out there. You can tell right away the head tube is 64.9 degrees. The chain stays pretty short at 440. The seat tube is a little steeper at 77.4, and it's got a pretty long reach. This is the size large. This is 511 millimeters, so it's a big large. A lot of the magic of this bike, according to the Ibis website, is that every one of the frame sizes has the same kinematics, so the shock and the suspension feel is the same on every size, and they're doing that through using different linkages here. Because of that, each one of the frame sizes should feel the same, where a lot of brands instead will, the designer's a medium, so he designs all of them as a medium, and the people that aren't a medium don't get the exact same feel that they intended. So it's pretty cool that this is size specific all the way through with how the suspension works. And it's pretty sweet that this bike does have a flip chip here, so you can switch it pretty easily from a 29 to a 27.5 if you do want to get that extra flickability. I got to be the lucky test pilot on this one because we got a couple larges, and typically I ride a large. And I would say the very first thing to keep in mind is Ibis has some new sizing here. So they have a small, medium, large, extra medium, and an extra large. And I would tell you that extra medium is probably where I should be on this, where I was a large previously. So the larges are a little longer, so I'd be aware of that when you're out there shopping for them. But right away, I was the lucky test mule on this one, and as soon as we built it, I wanted to get it out there. So I took it on one of my absolute favorite rides. That is one I do at lunch all the time, after work, as much as I can get. It's the Teacup Grand Central Loop. If you guys are familiar, we have that on our website. And I shot a little video of me doing this ride doing those trails also. So Teacup, if you guys are familiar, it is technical, it's awkward, it's got some fast descents, it's got some rough climbs. And I thought it would be a great place to take a bike that's meant to kind of do it all and gets, maybe slanted a little more climbing. So my initial impressions were pretty amazed, I ride a bike like this already, and I've had a lot of bikes like this in that 130, 140 zone, and it's really what I like. I like to be able to go out all day, pedal up, ride down, get in a little over your head sometimes, whatever. What stuck out to me is I'd also spent a lot of time on an HD6 this year, and that bike completely blew me away because I've never owned a bike that had a 180 millimeter travel fork and 160 millimeters in the rear. And somehow that bike pedaled amazingly, and you could take it out all day. So I thought, you know, they're gonna update this. What's that gonna be like? And it is amazing. Like, that same magic carries over. This bike pedals incredibly well. We notice a little bit that the weight went up on this versus the previous bike. This exact one weighs 31 pounds as it sits here. So it's a little bit heavier. However, you do not notice that at all. The shorter chainstay, you can feel it flick around nicely. The steeper seat tube, I love that. It seems to be, you know, I've had lower back issues forever, and it's a little more gentle on your hips and your back. The slack head angle, I mean, Teacup, you get some steeps, you get some ruggedness, and you get into Grand Central, it's like there's some drops and high speed stuff. I mean, this bike was at home the entire time. So really, I was quite impressed on that first ride. Since then, I've been lucky enough to get it out a few more times. I even took it to the bike park up at Fort Tuthill in Flagstaff and was also very impressed with how it popped and maneuvered and wanted to be playful in the air. We're excited to have these in our rental fleet right now, as well as on our website available for order. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more mountain bike content just like this.